Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys. So we're here really to talk about Talkwalker rather than Marlin Equity. We quickly make an intro. Roland, I'm one of the D-leads of Marlin Equity in Europe and responsible from our side for the Talkwalker investment.
Yeah, Robert Glaesener. I'm the CEO of Talkwalker since now 9 years.
Cool. So let's get started. So, Robert, where did the idea for Talkwalker came from? And how did you guys get started and when?
Yeah, actually, I joined the two founders. That was already in 2010. The two founders have started the business in Luxembourg. That was in 2009. The two founders also had already, an entrepreneurial background. Even at 17 years, one of the two founders have been building his own search engine on the Luxembourgish market. And then basically they have been engineers. They afterwards came back to Luxembourg and built this Talkwalker platform. Actually, the idea was, to do social media monitoring and listening. That's how it all started. So crawling all the data on blogs, message boards and things like that, and trying, to make sense of it. That's really how it all started. And I actually came back afterwards. I had some career beforehand also in entrepreneurial ventures.
Fantastic. So you guys really decided to bootstrap your business from scratch. And you took Marlin on board last year in 2018 in January. So first of all, why did you bootstrap your business instead of taking massive outside capital? And how did you decide to take Marlin on as a partner?
Yeah, it's true. I think our company was essentially bootstrapped. Obviously, we had some, local investors and business angels in the company, but basically, today we're a company of 260 people. We're still profitable, so we have spent, from 2 employees to 250 employees, a total of maybe 1.5 million euros. So it was really, very much bootstrapped for the whole 8-9 years. Basically, we didn't have really the choice. I think if you're looking at things have changed now in Europe in the last 10 years. I think that's very positive. But either you have really bottom-up approach, like ourselves. You don't have that much money and you have to create value from the start, or you have a top-down approach, which was more the Silicon Value kind of doing things, which is venture capital based. You put a lot of money into one company and then hope that 1 in 10 or 1 in 100 will succeed. I think we were a little bit different. I think really it was a bottom-up approach. We tried to get clients from the first day. Obviously, with a very MVP product, but at least it funded some of our servers, some of our salaries, and then as we grew, we obviously invested the whole money we got from our clients back into the company. So that was quite successful. I think it also obliged us to a lot of cost discipline. It obliged us really to look at the clients, what we actually brought to the clients, and how we can actually extract value from the product. So that's obviously important. Then 2017, obviously we met Marlin, the private equity guys, the equity partners, and so basically it was interesting because basically, obviously, there's really for two things. I mean, the first is they have a lot of operational knowledge. I think we have already started to be successful in the US, but not yet. So we really wanted to have this opening in the US. And the second one is also it's quite impressive. Marlin has a whole operational department. They have operational partners, as they call them. So basically, once you try to hire people, once you try to organize your operations, everything that is not your core business, basically they are very helpful, and they actually put operational partners for 1, 2, 3 months into your company, so that basically they can help you fix things. So I think that was a good choice. And then I think the last one is obviously there's a lot of capital in private equity in California private equity today. So basically, if and when we will need some additional capital to expand our markets, typically in the US and in Asia, obviously we can have a lot of market there. But till now we all did this on our own monies.
Cool. And so you guys basically, what you do, you really serve global enterprises to drive, brand insight for their strategy, for the products and services. And you created the so-called PMP framework. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, basically it's also, it has to do with this, our value approach with the client. So basically we are obviously have been starting in social media monitoring and analytics. That's quite a dull, kind of market. But really we have been able to look at the clients saying, why do they use us? And it's really for three different reasons, which are very interlinked. It's to protect their companies, it's to measure their efforts, their social media efforts, and also to promote their brands. So we call this the PMP Framework. So each time we go actually to clients, specifically to a bigger enterprise client, we're just looking how we can actually, implement this framework, technologically-wise with our clients. So basically, how can we help them protect their franchise, their companies, their brands? How can we measure their, their social media efforts and the results and the impact of that? And the last one is how can we promote those brands, those companies on the social media and in online media in general? And basically, this has helped us really, to go from, agency, monthly deals to now most of our deals obviously have multi-year deals, and it's with big enterprise. We work today really with big enterprises, and once we get into those enterprises, obviously the challenge is, to expand our share and our value, and we do this through this framework with our communication and marketing departments.
Great. And you guys, so over time, you built really what is called a contextualized AI engine across multiple use cases. And you became the leader in this space. How did you do it? What are really the differentiating factors of your product in this market today?
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do, with who we are and where we come from. We are essentially a technology company. In the beginning, obviously, the founders were engineers. That was really, where we were coming from. So we continue to invest quite a lot in this technology. Today, we have started 3-4 years ago already, to build out our AI platform. So this is a very deep AI platform where we recognize videos, images, text, speech, and things like that. We also expanded a lot on different kind of data that we actually put into our platform. And with this data, we actually putting into our platform with this analytics framework, which is the contextual search analytics engine, we actually are able, and with the PMP framework, we are actually able to have a product edge in the market that allows us to be very successful and also to be successful profitably.
Fantastic. And as you scale your business, what are the 2-3 KPIs you guys monitor the most?
And what you also monitor, obviously, the first is the growth. I think that's important. I think we have been growing quite significantly, 50% plus every year since the last 4 or 5 years. So basically, growth is important for us. The second one, which is also important, is the LTV CAC. So do we do this profitably? Are we over-investing in the market, or is it reasonable? And today we are in the upper single-digit LTV CAC ratios, which is a very good ratio. And the last one is obviously the retention ratios. I think if you want to build these companies from right now we have obviously a significant size already, and in order to develop this, we have to have those churn rates very conservatively, and today we have even negative churn rates. So I think that's a very good sign for our product.
Fantastic. And so basically, as Talkwalker became more global, I think 50% of your new bookings come out of the US now.
Yes.
With offices in New York, San Francisco. You opened Singapore and Paris just recently. What are the next steps for Talkwalker in the next year or years to come?
Well, we'll do the same thing, just bigger and hopefully better. So basically, continue the geographical expansion, invest quite significantly, in the AI platform, in our search engine. And the third one is also, I think, very important is, in the people around. So basically, I think we don't have big assets or things like that. We actually build with the people. So I think we'll continue to invest quite a lot in the people so that we attract and retain the best people around.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.